The vibration in my pocket startled me just as I reached for a box of cereal. Her name lit up on the screen, my wife. I answered, expecting something ordinary. Instead, her voice came through clipped and shaking. "Where are you?" "Aisle 7. I replied casually. "Getting cereal with our son." A silence stretched. "Too long." Then her tone sharpened, urgent. "Leave the cart. Leave everything. Walk calmly to the front and get out." I froze, my hand still resting on the box. "Why? I'm not finished." "I can't explain. Just go. Now." Her voice cracked under the weight of panic. Beside me, my son tugged on my sleeve, asking if we could still get the marshmallow cereal. I forced a smile, nodded, but inside my chest, something tightened. Her words hadn't carried fear for our safety. They carried something else, something secret, something she didn't want me to see. I took his hand and walked out, steady, measured, though each step felt heavier than the last. That was the moment I understood. Whatever game was being played, I wasn't meant to notice. And that's exactly why I did. That evening, she behaved as if nothing had happened, laughing at her own stories, serving dinner, pretending everything was fine. But her eyes darted too often. Her hands trembled when she poured the wine. She thought I wasn't watching. But I always watched. Lying in bed, I replayed that call again and again. It wasn't fear, not protection. She had wanted me away from the store because of something I might witness. Someone I might see. The seed of suspicion was planted, and it grew like wildfire. Later that night, her phone buzzed. She snatched it up too quickly, too desperately. "Work," she muttered. But she was in finance. No one calls after midnight unless the world is on fire. I said nothing, but I knew. From that moment, I became deliberate, patient. I tracked her movements with precision. When she showered, I checked her phone. Deleted call logs, missing texts, strange gaps where conversations should have been. I combed through her emails, her accounts, her history. I wasn't reckless. I was surgical, cutting through the facade like a surgeon removing rot from healthy flesh. But it wasn't the numbers or the logs that gutted me. It was the photographs buried deep in hidden folders. A man always smiling. Her smile answering his. Her hand laced with his. Her lips pressed against his. My chest hollowed as I stared, the reflection of my own face blurring on the screen. The next day, I ordered a DNA test. Not because I doubted my son. My love for him was already sealed, beyond blood. But betrayal runs deeper than the body. I needed certainty. 2 weeks. That's how long it took. 2 weeks of wearing a mask. 2 weeks of pretending at family dinners, of holding her hand in public, of kissing her cheek as though I wasn't burning alive inside my own skin. She grew careless, emboldened. I grew colder. When the envelope finally arrived, I opened it calmly, hand steady. The results were merciless in their simplicity. Probability of paternity, 0. No debate. No excuses. Just truth, sharp and absolute. That evening, I laid the paper on the table. She walked in, curious, then pale as her eyes skimmed the words. Her hands shook, her mouth opened and closed. "Please, it's not what you think." I stayed silent. Silence was sharper than any word. She crumbled into fragments. Excuses, sobs, broken pleas. I watched, detached, the balance of power shifting. The next morning, I packed her suitcase, folded her clothes neatly, placed it by the door. When she stumbled in with red-rimmed eyes, I slid it toward her. "Leave." Her lips parted, searching for leverage but found none. "I can explain." I shook my head once. "Final. This isn't your home anymore. Neither am I." Her body broke into sobs, the sound of a life collapsing. I didn't shout, didn't curse, didn't strike. I simply stood there, watching her unravel until she was small enough to carry her own suitcase out the door. The door shut, and the silence that followed was the cleanest sound I'd ever heard. My son sat at the table, coloring, innocent, untouched by the poison his mother had spilled into our lives. He looked up, smiling. He didn't need my blood to be mine. I would raise him, protect him, love him. As for her, she no longer existed. Not in this house, not in my future. Betrayal doesn't end with fire, it ends with absence. And when she walked away, I felt no rage, no grief. Only clarity. That night, as I turned off the light, my final thought was cold and unwavering. The truth had set me free.